What if I told you that the greatest enemy you've ever faced in life isn't out there, in the obvious battles against the world, people, or circumstances? What if I told you that the real fight is happening silently inside you, in a place no one else can see? A place where your shadow, that dark, confusing, painful part of your being, is constantly at war with your light. Imagine that you are a chosen one, not because someone told you so, but because somehow your soul knows that it carries a mission, a purpose. But this mission does not come with easy glories, nor immediate victories. It comes with the weight of facing yourself every day, even when everything out there wants to distract you. It comes with the courage to look at your fears, your flaws, that side of you that you try to hide even from yourself. Have you ever felt this internal conflict? That feeling of being torn between wanting to move forward and, at the same time, sabotaging yourself? Between loving yourself and judging yourself? Between hope and despair? This is the greatest battle of the chosen one. Not to overcome the world, but to overcome one's own shadow. And here's the thing that few people understand. This shadow is not your enemy. It's part of you. The problem is that you haven't learned to dance with it yet. The truth is hard, but liberating. To be truly chosen, you need to accept that your biggest struggle is with what's inside. The doubts, the pain, the ghosts that insist on keeping you trapped in the past. It's not easy, I know, but it's necessary. Before we continue on this journey together, I want to extend a very special invitation to you. If you have ever felt, even just a little, this internal struggle, this battle with your own shadow, this space is for you. Here, we will not pretend that everything is easy, nor will we sell magic formulas for success or instant happiness. Here, we will walk side by side in the truth that sometimes hurts, that challenges, but that also liberates. Subscribe to the channel and be part of this community of people who are not afraid to look within, who are willing to transform themselves, to grow, even when the path seems dark. Signing up is more than clicking a button. It's making a commitment to yourself, to your journey. When you sign up, you are not alone. You connect with real stories, with deep reflections, with teachings that help you understand that the greatest battle is this, the fight against your own shadow, and that this fight can be the path to your greatest light. Here, you will find videos that talk about the courage to be imperfect, about the strength that comes from vulnerability, about the power of change when you decide to look at what scares you. It is a space for you to breathe, to think, to feel that even in the most difficult times, you are not lost. So, if you are ready to face this battle, to transform pain into learning and shadow into strength, sign up now and activate the bell so you don't miss any content. Come be part of this journey where together we will discover that being chosen is not a blessing without challenges. It is a mission of courage, self-knowledge, and overcoming. I wait for you here with an open heart so that we can grow together. Because the path of the chosen one is solitary, but it doesn't have to be alone. Sometimes in the silence of the night, when the world sleeps and everything is still, I find myself looking inside as if it were a vast desert, a barren place full of shadows that move slowly, almost imperceptibly, but that carry an enormous weight. It is there in this desert of my own soul that most of the battle takes place. There are no swords or screams, but an internal conflict that burns slowly, like an ember that insists on not going out. I feel the chill of doubt running down my spine, and my heart tightens as if trying to hide from itself. Sometimes it seems like my shadow stretches and takes over the space, making everything around me lose color, lose life. At these moments, the outside world seems too distant, as if I were trapped in an invisible bubble where only I and this dark part exist. I've tried to run away from this shadow. I've tried to ignore the weight it brings me, to close my eyes to the old wounds, to the fears that insist on haunting me. But it doesn't work. It always comes back, and stronger each time. But with time, and a lot of struggle, I began to realize something different. The shadow is not just darkness. It is also a map, a crooked compass that points to where I need to go, to what I still need to understand about myself. Every fear, every pain that seems to bring me down carries a hidden lesson. Every internal battle is an opportunity to know myself better, to become more whole. It's as if I were walking down a dark hallway, and little by little, I began to see small lights on the walls, signs that guide me out of this labyrinth. There are subtle details, moments that I barely noticed, a sincere smile, a gesture of affection, the strength that emerges when I don't give up. These small achievements make me understand that I don't need to erase the shadow, but learn to live with it, to accept its presence as part of my being. And when this happens, a change begins to take shape within me. It is not a grand, spectacular transformation. It is slow, silent, like the arrival of dawn after the darkest night. I begin to feel that I am not only the weight of my pain, nor only the fear that paralyzes me. I am also the hope that resists, the courage that insists, the love that does not disappear, even when all seems lost. The struggle with your own shadow is difficult, yes, but it is also an invitation to awaken to a truer life. A life where you don't have to pretend to be perfect or hide what hurts you. Where you can finally be whole, with light and shadow, and still feel worthy of being called chosen. In the midst of this silent battle, there came a day, or perhaps several small days, that together formed a turning point. It didn't happen with one big event, but with details that, when added together, changed everything. It was the small victories that showed me that it was possible to move forward, even when the shadow still insisted on appearing. I remember one morning, for example, when I woke up, and for the first time in a long time, I was able to look in the mirror without looking away from my own gaze. That reflection that had so often brought me fear and rejection. That morning seemed almost like a friend. Not because I had changed overnight, but because something inside me began to recognize that there was someone there fighting with all their might. Someone trying to find themselves in the midst of chaos. Another small victory was accepting a difficult feeling, a sadness that wanted to paralyze me. Instead of running away, I sat with that sadness, took a deep breath, and let it be without judgment, without rushing to change. It was a simple act, but powerful. It was the moment when I understood that resisting your own shadow too much only increases the pain. And so, one step at a time, I built a path where the shadow stopped being an enemy and became a teacher. Each fear I faced, each doubt I faced, brought me a new lesson about who I really am. I discovered that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to move forward even when fear is there, latent, trying to hold me back. The biggest lesson I learned on that journey was that there is no moment when the battle ends. There is no finish line where the shadow disappears forever. The life of the chosen one is a continuous balance between light and darkness, between winning and starting over. But it is precisely in this dance between the two forces that true strength is born. Because every time you get up, even tired and hurt, you are showing yourself that you are capable of going further than you imagined. Each small step forward is an act of resistance, a silent cry that you will not give up. In the process, I began to see my shadow in a different light, no longer as a burden, but as part of my humanity, a part that needs to be embraced, understood, so that I can be whole. That's when the real transformation began. Not because I became perfect, but because I accepted being imperfect. Today, every internal battle prepares me for the challenges that come from outside. Every time I embrace my shadow, I discover a little more of my light. What about you? Where are you now on this journey? What small achievements are waiting to be celebrated? Maybe like me, you are still halfway there, tired but not defeated. And that, in itself, is already a victory. There's a truth that few dare to say out loud, because it shatters the image we have of happiness, success, and even of being chosen. The truth is that happiness is not a permanent state. It is not a goal to be achieved or a prize for those who go the furthest. Happiness is a shadow that walks alongside the light, a reflection that only exists because there is darkness. Many believe that being chosen means always being enlightened, strong, invincible. But the real choice is not in being free of the shadow. It is in learning to live with it. The big takeaway is to understand that the shadow is the root of our humanity, the fertile soil where authenticity sprouts. When you accept that your biggest battle is with your own shadow, you stop fighting yourself and start living for real. This changes everything. It starts to make sense that you feel lost, that you are afraid, that you sometimes want to give up. Because these feelings are not weaknesses, they are signs that you are alive in constant transformation. Life is not a straight line. It is made up of cycles, ups and downs, light and shadow that intertwine in an eternal dance. Happiness is not the absence of pain, but the ability to dance with it, to find balance even when everything seems to be in conflict. Being chosen, then, is not a prize you win for being perfect, but a mission of courage to face your own shadows and, in doing so, light the way for others. It is accepting that you are at once light and dark, strength and vulnerability, victory and downfall. And in this space where light and shadow coexist, true freedom is born. The freedom to be who you are, with all your imperfections and complexities. The freedom to stop hiding behind masks and external expectations. The freedom to recognize that the shadow does not diminish your light. It makes it deeper, more real. This revelation changes the way we see life, the way we see ourselves. It brings an unexpected peace because it frees us from the endless search for perfection and invites us to embrace the entire journey with its pains and joys. Now, when I look at my own shadow, I no longer feel fear. I feel respect. I feel gratitude because I know that it challenges me to grow, to be more authentic, to connect with the truth that pulses within me. And that's what I want to leave you with today. The biggest battle you face is not to eliminate your shadow, but to integrate it, to understand it, to use it as fuel for your light. If you're struggling right now, know that it is part of the process. You are not alone. This struggle is what will transform you into the truly chosen one. Not the one who does not suffer, but the one who learns to walk with their own shadows. The journey of those who are chosen is not made up of easy victories or smooth paths. It is made up of hesitant steps, stumbles, and getting up when it seems like there is no more strength. This is the truth that few tell, because society likes to show only the brilliance, the success, the triumph. But what really matters is the silent battle that takes place within each one of us. Overcoming one's own shadow is not a grand, spectacular act or one worthy of applause. It is a daily effort, a small choice every morning to face fear, doubt, and anguish. It is looking in the mirror and accepting the reflection, even when it does not correspond to what we would like to see. It is taking a deep breath, even when our chest feels heavy, and continuing to walk step by step. Being chosen is not being free from pain or difficulties. Being chosen is being strong enough to accept that pain is part of the journey, that the shadow exists, and still move forward. Because deep down, this internal battle is what shapes the character, wisdom, and courage that no external success can bring. You don't have to be perfect to be chosen. In fact, perfection only exists in that which is not human. And humanity is made of imperfections, flaws, and shadows. Recognizing this is an act of courage greater than any great feat that the world can applaud. The overcoming you seek is not outside, it is inside. It is in that place where you face your own fears and decide that, despite them, you will keep fighting. It is in that inner voice that, even when tired, insists on saying, I can, I am capable, I deserve it. And it is this voice, however small it may seem, that makes all the difference. Because it is what keeps alive the flame that makes you chosen. If today you feel that your shadow is bigger, heavier, harder to carry, know that this is not the end of the story. It is just a chapter, a time for you to learn, grow, and become stronger. Don't hide from your shadow, nor let it dominate you. Face it, learn from it, allow it to transform you. You are not alone in this fight. All the chosen ones go through this battle. And it is exactly this battle that will reveal your true power. In the end, being chosen is not a destination, it's a journey. A journey of self-discovery, of acceptance, of courage to be who you are, even with all the shadows we carry. So, keep moving forward, with patience, with self-love, and with the certainty that each step you take, no matter how difficult it may be, is bringing you closer to a truer, stronger version of yourself. Your battle with the shadow is your greatest gift, because only those who know the darkness can truly recognize the light that exists within them. If this video touched you in any way, if it made you reflect on your own internal battles, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Here, we walk together on this journey of self-knowledge and overcoming, because no one needs to face the shadows alone. Leave your like to strengthen this space where we can share stories, learn from each other, and find strength in vulnerability. Turn on the bell to receive notifications and not miss the next content that we prepare with such care and sincerity. Share this video with someone you know who is struggling with their shadow, because sometimes a word or a reflection can be the support they needed to hear today. Remember, being chosen is a mission of courage, and courage, sometimes, is simply continuing, even when everything inside you tells you to stop. Here, you are welcome to be who you really are, with light and shadow, strength and weakness, victories and falls. Thank you very much for being with me this far. Your presence makes all the difference. See you in the next video.